I guess the stock as well, Jim, bounced right off of 207 at the early morning lows today. But how much do you sense that this is truly gathering steam?
I do think it's gathering steam. And I think that looking at the big picture here, Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg have lost the war. Where the battle lines will finally be drawn, I don't know. But remember back in his famous speech in Georgetown in 2019, Zuckerberg sounded like a Supreme Court justice, laying out the principles of free speech and saying that Facebook was not going to censor people, was not going to limit it, wanted to let everything go on here. Well, that debate is over. Facebook is not the United States government. It is a private company. It is free to publish or not publish whatever it wants, but it also is going to have to respond to the marketplace, namely its advertisers, and I think that's what we see kicking in now. Facebook has already compromised tremendously. They're already moving those boundaries. They're already trying to do some things to address the most extreme examples on there, and I think it's going to have to go farther. I mean, again, as I said, once you go down that road, you've got to draw the line somewhere that advertisers are comfortable with. But I think it can do that. Once it embraces that, it is eventually going to be able to make the advertisers happy.
So you sense a full reversal. You think they go full Twitter?
I think they're going to have to go somewhere in that direction. They haven't gone far enough. I mean, when you have, we're not talking about radical protesters here. We've got companies like Coca-Cola, saying this is not satisfactory. We don't want our ads showing up here. And I think they're going to have to listen to that. I suspect they are. And that they will be able to draw a line that is never going to satisfy, extremists who don't want any kind of like so-called trigger message showing up on there, but that they can find a spot, where mainline advertisers are still going to be comfortable. Facebook does have a lot of leverage here. I mean, it is a powerful advertising platform. The advertisers need Facebook as well, but their willingness to do this, I think, is sending a very, very strong message.
Yeah, Jim, this is Morgan, and you just hit on exactly the question I had from you, and that is the fact that for years now, it has seemed like Facebook has had all the leverage, and not just Facebook. You can also make this argument about Google as well. They've been the dominant places for digital advertising if you want to get your wares or I guess brand awareness out there to as many people as possible. The fact that you have so many advertisers who are now pulling those dollars, what does this do in terms of the experiment around that, and where do those dollars now go?
Well, I think it'll be interesting to see what the advertisers discover once they pull those ads. My suspicion is, as you point out, that you've basically got Google and Facebook and to some extent Twitter, but really Google and Facebook are the big two here. The companies that can do the targeted advertising so that you are getting your message in front of exactly the person who needs to hear it. That has been the powerful tool that has been driving the dominance of social media, and that is not going to go away. I think Facebook is going to recognize that the people who are putting the offensive messages up there are relatively small in number, and they are going to be able to curb that while still being able to deliver that powerful tool to advertisers. Now, exactly how they do that, they're going to have to figure it out. But I think it is doable, and there's going to be a win-win solution here, I think, for both sides if people can get beyond the sort of highly charged ideology of this and I'm mostly talking about Zuckerberg here, who is going to have to compromise some of those principles that he laid down. But again, I think that advertisers are going to discover that by not advertising on there, that they're going to lose quite a bit. It is a very powerful advertising platform.